scientific breakthroughs, the unveilings, spiritual revelations, the openings. Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2. First World Order Radio, Tips and Tricks Tuesdays. I'm Blackwater, the META-MAJI-SHEN. It's Tips and Tricks Tuesdays, another news day. North, east, west, south. Not here to confuse the day, just diffuse the way. Another Tips and Tricks Tuesday. That pig, that's fine. Hijacking the mind. Aluminum bonds with intelligence. Rewind the message. Merry Christmas. 13 indigenous immigrants. State of the unison. Addressing nothing. Foundations can ruin. Level to level. Fuck the embezzlements. Tales from the crib, hitting blood rituals. 50 scores flying over California vacation. Flying dragons, swords and daggers, lions and tigers. Gotta get my bearings or perish. Tap into raw flesh, vampire, vegetarian. I'm a malnutrition, chemically imbalanced. Ethiopian, inhaling kush. Blue projects get pushed, move with the bush. Standing on the middle line, no defining. Swirling dervish, in between space and time. Tips and Tricks Tuesday, another news day. North, east, west, south. Not here to confuse the day, just diffuse the way. Another Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Tips and Tricks Tuesday, another news day. North, east, west, south. Not here to confuse the day, just diffuse the way. Another Tips and Tricks Tuesday.
Whether you suffer from pain in your back to aches in your knees, come on down and purchase you some ancestral tea to get rid of all the parasites, toxins, and fleas. Spiritual elevation for cosmic gravitation. So put away the patience, cause there's no time to be wasted.
Ancestral tea, that's all you need. Ancestral tea, so you better believe. Ancestral tea, and it works for real. Ancestral tea, so put away your pills. Ancestral tea, that's all you need. Ancestral tea, so you better believe. Ancestral tea, and it works for real. Ancestral tea, so put away your pills.
This is a public commercial advertisement for AncestralTeas.com. All rights are reserved. Peace. Peace to the God. You already know, man. Yo. Bohemian wizardry, you fraud MCs be killing me. The enemy is close, we both lies on our identity. I build like he who stepped, architect like Imhotep. Son had the sun himself, the God deadly with the art. I spit dark with a slit heart. You can feel it in your bone marrow before the shit starts. Standing in the cold with a scroll that was written in gold. Behold the old glimpse that was never untold. Infinite like the 8-7 dwelling in your melon. No felon, though the unrighteous say that I'm rebellious. I'm primal, my rhyme suicidal. I worship no idols. My style of load of gems going down in a spiral. You stuck in your root. My intelligence past my cool. The God is the truth. Every time I step in the booth, you stepped on the stoop. Got scooped and swooped in my loop. Do the knowledge, whack them seeds, get played like flu.
In which the son of us are, a gift from the gods who rule, flying through the sky with golden wings. Submerged into the light, knighted by the golden king with the scepter of justice. Melanin cultivating chi until we are Ethereans, brightly becoming one with the righteous sun. Solar, souls are raw, magnificent glow with unconditional love. Scattered rays for days from the heavens above. Soul below, the souls trapped in the lowest depths of hell, incarnated into 76 trillion cells. To break free, we must be refined, masculine and feminine properties combined.
The devil is the author of confusion. 183,000 divisions and religions, denominations, sects, codes, schisms, and isms. Yo, isn't it written in the Bible that Jesus spoke in parables? The scriptures and gospels aren't just historical. Many passages weren't meant to be taken literal. Most of it is allegorical, based on esoteric principles. Baptist versus Methodist, Pentecostal holiness versus Jehovah's Witness, Mormons versus Seventh-day Adventists, skeptics, atheists, and agnostics, divine and cosmic tactics of the reptilians, lower fourth dimensional aliens. So beware of the draconian Satanists. Yo, they aim to imprison all true beings to So we crush the head of Leviathan. Battle mind control, subliminal suggestion, brainwashing, indoctrination, using religions, politics, education, economics, health and labor, entertainment and war, yo, sex and law. In this chessboard game called life, we've all been pawns. Puppets on strings controlled by demonic spawns. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't run with the devil and walk with God. You can't run with the devil and walk with God.
Yeah. Thunderstorm. Not here with yes, it's another Tips and Tricks Tuesday. It is once again Blackwater the META-MAJI-SHEN. Back on this Tuesday, on the Mars Day. Cairo Day, or whatever you want to call it, like we say. But yeah. What Tues means Mars in French. But anyway, I'm going to give thanks to those that came before and those who come after us. Give thanks to the First World War family out there, staying busy, Kadesh. Give thanks to all in the light, all in the dark as well. It's all the same. It's all good. It's all good in the hood, you know it. All right. Today's topic is just basically going to recap some of last week's information and then cap it off. Got cut off a little shortly last week. It was funny, kind of ironic. I said system shut down, and next thing you know, the system shut down. So we're going to turn the system back on for a few minutes and get the rest of that information back out there where it was where we left off at. You know, so today's topic once again is the immortal body of the hidden light. META-MAJI-SHEN body. And basically, like we said last week, that means basically the divine being that exists within the water, bringing harmony to earth, contributing to the divine soul of the hidden light. So, you know, the divine being, that's the Ba, the soul that exists in the physical body, the water, bringing harmony to earth, bringing harmony to the physical reality, external and internally, by contributing to the divine soul by way of the hidden light. So through harmony, we contribute, but through all things, and through the experience, we contribute to the divine soul memories, by way of the hidden light, by way of melanin. All right, so our interaction with life, melanin, brings about the enhancement of our solar activity, or soul sun activity. So that is why we are here again, to experience and to experiment, not too much so, you know, get over the humps and lumps and keep it moving up. So last week we went over a few things. Mainly we went through that 22 signs that you are developing and advancing into the immortal body. And we also started out with epigenetics. So I'm going to epigenetics, but first, I'm going to epigenetics. Then we're going to come back in with some mantras, haikus, power words, where it's power. We've done those before. It's the I am affirmations, or the Nupu Ma'akaru. Basically, that means I am speaking the truth, or whatnot. Ma'akaru means where it's truth. So, or speaking of, true words, so I am in Nupu meaning I am. So Nupu Makaru. And we're going to go through those 42 different affirmations, those 42 affirmations, just based on the 42, I guess you could say the negative affirmation. That's what some people call it, but it's the 42 symbolic rising and going to sleep words of my eye. As we rise, we say, I have not, and as we go to rest, we say, I have not, at night, and I have in the morning. 42 of the negative affirmations. Those be that I have not. But we flipped it and switched it up a little bit to new proofs. So I am the energy. But we'll go into that in a few minutes. We'll speak on epigenetics for a brief moment, abbreviated moment. Like I said, just going to recap on what we was talking about last week a little bit. Remember, epigenetics is basically something that's being expressed externally to enhance or degenerate the genetics or the cell where the gene resides within the DNA strand. So, there's a lot going on out here that is detrimental to our cellular structure and where we, live from, basically what our physical body is composed of, its cells. So, the genetics, as in the word genocide, means to murder the gene. The genetics the genes are very important. You see how the younger population now is being highly manipulated through their genetics or by way of different elements that are external, mainly food elements or essence that we are taking in. Food essence being basically food and air. So they're manipulating the air and the food right now. The food with GMO or genetically modified organisms in the air with what we call chemtrails, chemical trails that have laid hold to a lot of children, and mostly respiratory system at the moment. And it's like a year. It's going on annually throughout the year where our children are becoming more susceptible to colds, whereas, in the past it was only in the cold season, but now it's mainly due to us inhaling a lot of chemicals that are being produced by these chemtrails, as well as eating the GMO food throughout the year. So the body's purging and naturally trying to push out the mucus. But as life continues, and if we don't correct this situation, this problem, and nip it in the bud at an early age by parenthood, the parents have to step up, of course, because children don't know better. They only following their taste buds and what they know from 0 to 7, and as their personality gets formed, they just go in from there. So it's up to us to, introduce holistic diets. Not saying, diet meaning death to the extraterrestrial or to the intelligent, but basically a holistic way of consuming these food items to where it can be enjoyable, yet at the same time we can elevate and not degenerate, at an early age. Children getting diabetes, stuff, type 1 and 2, it's unheard of 100 years ago. But these days, that is taking place. So epigenetics is basically how you could say emotions play a major role in epigenetics or epigenetics. Basically, is anything external that can genes. So in the study of epigenetics, they have found that with our mind state or what we're thinking, we can actually cause the DNA to bond or the DNA to expand. By bonding, when it bonds is when we have in general, we have a negative type emotional or negative thought. And when it enhances or it actually is not restricted and it starts to expand is when we have genuine thoughts of love or higher vibration versus fear. Studies, they saw that if one has positive thoughts and broadcast that throughout the entirety of their organism, then those thoughts register within the cellular structure and then within the DNA, and it opens up different faculties that are dormant within the DNA. Genetics, genes basically are intelligence that have been passed down through ancestral information that becomes dormant or sleeps. It goes to a sleep state or into the subconscious or soul due to not having natural light or having some type of unnatural activity external that gives us the presence of information, of course, but it also gives us the presence of some type of feeling or sensation that we tend to enjoy and then go back into on the recesses of the mind as it appreciates the memory. And there's only memories, but, so the soul takes in the memory at the first initiation, but the body, is a little different from the soul activity, so the body sometimes takes control, and, it just wants to follow the memory. But remember, we go through one class and stuff, or whatever grade we graduate, we want to go on to the next class, but sometimes we fail, and we get left behind, we got to take the class over, so to speak. The main thing is to have fun, so I like experiences. I like new experiences. That means I'm having fun, So we got to pay attention to what's going on through our emotions. And then when the emotions tend to go back to the same issue, then that's not expansion. It's regression, basically. You know what I'm saying? And always learn to observe what's necessary. Some things we might need to go back into as far as the emotional avenue of the past to be able to bridge back the truth of the experience in the present. But that doesn't mean we got to gloat on it and, be in that moment of the past. We do need to keep in stride to where we are moving forward. All right, so back in the day, they used to think that, our genetics was based on, or our life was based on our genetics, and what our fathers and mothers may have been introduced to, if they had any type of bad health issues, then it was going to be passed on to us as well. Through epigenetics, they found that that's not the case. So we have the ability to change our genetic codes and to be able to enhance our own activity of life, and that's not based on our parentage. Now, we do take certain personality traits through our parents, and some of them are good, and some of them may be less than good. But all in all, we are not left in the cold, so to speak, to where we have to take in those elements that were they say were passed down through generations. Traditionally, that's not the case. If we do take on the same activities, then yeah, it's possible. Yet still, we have the ability to rearrange and change as we move and as we walk. So give thanks to your power, understand? We are all powerful people, individually, and we're more powerful as a collective. All right, so where we left off last week, I was going to come in and bring on fundamental strategies to enhance the cellular health. And also, by way of doing that, it will unlock our genetic potential and activate those dormant DNA. These are easy techniques, anybody can do them. The most important one is very imperative. It's meditation or meditative type of exercises, awareness type of exercises or exercise. This will cultivate and help. This will cultivate the energy as well as regulate emotional reactions. These exercises could be yoga, tai chi, qigong, as well as mindfulness throughout the day. That's as in the men have walking meditation, where you learn to not react to external inputs and just not really be a zombie to it, but what's going to happen if we don't react right? Nothing, the same thing. And basically, you are retaining that energy that could be misused by wherever our attention is being usurped by, or whatever the external device is that's taking our attention. That can cause energy to be misused improperly. The energy is what the physical body is composed of as well, even though we don't see it moving and forming the physical body. But through the activity, through the mind, which is basically attention. Remember, our attention is what's the saying? Attention is a wallet, and no, the mind is our wallet, and our attention is our money. So watch what you pay attention to. So the mind being the wallet that holds our attention. Attention is basically just energy just going in and out. But when we are attentive to certain things, we do go into a slight trance mode. So attention and Kemetic attend meaning the sun disk and Shen meaning spirit. So it's the cycle of the spirit. So if our cycle of the spirit or our intelligence, our awareness and conscious activity is being usurped again by external devices, then our attention or that trance mode is being placed on us somewhat. Hypnotic state is being put on us in a subconscious state without us not even really knowing it sometimes. So we need to be very attentive of what we're paying attention to. So whatever that external input is, make sure it's on a high vibration to where it's not going to put us on the low end of reactive mind, to where the emotional where the emotional output could cause confusion later on. All right, so mindfulness, awareness and meditative type of techniques and exercises are very, very good to help with enhancing and unlocking our genetics and activating that dormant DNA. And this will also help develop our perception to make us less reactive emotionally and impulsive. One of the key things with health and being mindful of meditative and deep breathing, associated with the deep breathing exercises or exercises, it will open the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the aspect of our nervous system that is in charge of relaxation, of the relaxation response. And it is also our healing and repair mechanism. And it's where we also gain inner peace, hotel. All right, so by being meditative throughout the day, it will bring about inner peace in your inner reality, so that external reality will flow a lot easier. With those exercises, are the bridge to the external reality by way of spirit, by way of intelligence, or by way of breath. So as we do those meditative exercises, we're actually forming a connection to our external reality or nature through the utilization of nature. The most natural thing that we have would be breath. That will magnetize, or it will help cultivate and manifest those things externally a lot easier. By being able to enhance DNA, you're enhancing your immortal body, and the immortal body can go out there and do what the physical body can't, so to speak. And the physical body got to go through some changes, though. That's the alchemy, the inner alchemy process. So we're going to go over a few exercises that we've already went over before, but go over them again. All right. And we also know that through the relaxation response, we're bringing melatonin into the body, so that's an anti-inflammatory antioxidant as well as a free radical scavenger. So it's producing, introducing good health to the body and healing the body from a cellular point of view by releasing stress and relieving stress. In this modern day reality, we are forced to lean towards the sympathetic nervous system, and that is the fight or flight response, where we're producing cortisol as well as adrenaline when not necessary. And if we're not in a time of crisis, this can be very toxic to the blood. So it causes degeneration of the body a lot faster when we are stressed or we are reactive in that fight or flight mode. And as we just spoke on before, that the appliances in the house are on a 60 hertz, and between 13 and 30, as well as going up to 60, but 30 is the beta state. So the beta state is the alert state. And we get up to 60 is the agitated state. So as all these appliances are in the house and we haven't plugged in and we go to rest, we're not getting a good restful sleep due to the fact that the 60 hertz are clicking. That's 60 hertz, that's 60 clicks per minute. So it goes periodically with the clock. So as we rest, we're not really getting the full amount of rest that the body needs and deserves. We wake up in an agitated state due to the fact that we had agitation located in our cellular structure throughout the night, vibrating with that 60 hertz sound in place of the natural hum of the universe. So that tends to lead to other issues throughout the year due to the fact of our overproduction of cortisol the next day just for us to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Due to the fact we haven't had enough rest to get melatonin, but we got to get up and get moving. So we got all this excess toxicity of cortisol in the bloodstream and causes inflammation and pains. So we do need to get an ample amount of sleep. Last night, I went to bed late. I was doing things on the 60 hertz computer for a while. Had my eye on it, and the organite next to it. It's all good. So hopefully tonight I won't yawn when it gets to about 10, 11, wherever, we may be. But I did get up this morning I went to sleep about 2:30, which, it was kind of way beyond. And the good brother came through I haven't met before. Bill, give thanks to that brother. He really brought some good information to the table, so we stayed up to talk to it for a minute. Give thanks for that. So, keeping it moving. All right, so meditative type of exercises really helps introduce non-stressors and relaxation to the blood, into the cells, into the DNA, basically. All right, so sometimes we do need to step back and be observant of what we're doing and what we're thinking, and we may be causing this stress, and develop, the characteristics of being able to control the negative emotional stimulus and being less attached and less reactive to those stimulus. This is what they do call mindfulness these days, and it's a very good way it's a very excellent way to bring in enhancement to your DNA and to see who you really are in place of the reactive mind telling us we are the external experiences, which are mainly based on fear. So let nature take its course, and just nature doesn't react unless it's necessary. And some of the things that we feel like nature is doing is normal, like thunderstorms and rain and sunny days or whatever, volcanoes, tsunamis, whatever's happening. Some of the things we think is normal. Some of it is necessary, but isn't natural. Some of it is being produced by man who has the unnatural capability of manipulating weather anomalies out here. And speaking of nature, this is one of the second. This is where we got cut off at last week, but get back into nature. Nature has meaning natural ecosystems like the beach, the mountains, deep wooded forests, park trails, something like that. They have an abundance of negative ions, like 50,000 units of negative ions per cubic centimeters in natural ecosystems like the beach and mountains. Early morning, like out in the backyard, you got a big backyard or something, and it's dew on the ground. Go out there and take some deep breaths, do some qigong, something like that, some tai chi. Meditate on a good day, get a picnic, whatever blanket, I don't know what it's called, one of them towels, something out there, next to a tree, not a pine tree, with all them ticks on it and stuff might fall off in your hair. They say you can look for tweezers in the lighter. You know what I'm saying? So be careful where you're sitting at a little bit. Be attentive to that to be mindful. All right, but getting back into nature, you know what I'm saying? With these, within metropolitan areas of cities, it's like 10,000 units of negative ions per cubic centimeter. And indoors or recirculated, I like to call recycled air, like air conditioning or central air. Office space, places like that, hospitals, factories, it's 100 units of negative ions per cubic centimeter. So you can imagine why, people who are in the house a lot have like the craziest attitudes or whatever. They're not getting enough vitamin D for one, but they're not getting enough negative ions. Negative ions are necessary to basically activate oxygen within the body and blood. So when we are in these buildings and whatnot, factories and working in these different places, or wherever it may be, going to the grocery store or sitting in the house all day, we're not activating enough oxygen for the entirety of the body to function properly. So a lot of the issues that's taking place can be pointed to a lack of oxygen within the body. That's suffocation. Suffocation doesn't necessarily mean we're stifled by the respiratory system not getting enough air or being choked or cut off the air in the respiratory system. All the organs need oxygen. The oxygen is within the cells. The cells are within the blood. So blood is going through each organ, basically. So with the suffocation process taking place with 100 units of negative ions per cubic centimeter within buildings can really, we can look at that like that is one of the key elements. Just the lack of oxygen, basically, going to the body is causing some things to pop. Because if you think about it, when you don't have enough oxygen going to the body, we ain't gonna think straight for one. You know what I'm saying? So meditation, getting those negative ions, like going to the beach or something like that, and doing the qigong out there, it's beautiful. The mountains or something, get some deep breaths in. Sit there for about 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's just relaxing, especially on vacation. You're supposed to be on vacation relaxing, but first thing we think about when we leaving the house is, are we there yet? So I ain't relaxed, and I'm already thinking about being at a vacation. So when I get there, first question is, where's something to eat? Or, let me get in this bed. Or, I don't want to drive or something. Just have fun. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Experience each moment. Bask in it. That's why I like solid. I do this right here. It's the most talkative day of the week for me. My Tuesdays. But I give thanks for it because it really helps one balance in the expression of words. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I eat my own words, so they will go into that. It's all good. All right, so get back in nature, getting those negative ions playing in the body, right? You know what I'm saying? Dancing around, activating oxygen, get an ionizer. Ionizer is good to invest in. Keep a window open in the house, you know what I'm saying? It helps bring in those negative ions through the day. Definitely you can you get a negative ionizer for a car too. You got where you can plug it into the electric output joint. So that's a good way to activate dormant DNA, get more oxygen to the cell. Natural spring water versus tap water or municipal water. Municipal water has hundreds of neurotoxins, antibiotics, there's radiation in it, as well as pharmaceutical type of medicines that they dump into these rivers, streams, and whatnot. So these drugs being introduced to it are very detrimental to the cell, as well as some of the calcium and fluorides that may be inside of the water as well. That are causing calcification to the pineal gland and causes bad health in general. So the filtration system, it will be okay. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them that they sell aren't really cleaning out and purging all the impurities out of the water, the tap water. So it would be wise if one is going to get something that is going to clean the water thoroughly, and because it removes the chlorine and the fluorides out of the water. And that's what, we don't want that fluoride flowing in that brain, like that to talk about. And we are made of 70 to 80% water. Our brains are made of about 90% water, so just about every cellular function and reaction is dependent on water. So we need the best type of water, the highest grade water, to keep the intercellular reality uplifted and our genetic expression advanced. A daily intake of high grade bioavailable trace minerals. Trace minerals are very important macro minerals. They're very important. When you think about it, you got over like 100,000 metabolic enzymes in every cell of your body, of our bodies, right? So in essence, they're responsible for all of the physical activities of the cell. So trace minerals are necessary for enzymes to function properly for the cellular environment due to the trace minerals' capability of allowing the cell to remain at an alkaline pH or potential hydrogen, power hydrogen, by holding on to the water within the cell. Just like salt, or sodium. Salt, when you see salt, put it next to water, what it do, it absorbs the water, so it holds on to the water. And this is good trace minerals, fine trace minerals. You don't want none of that NaCl, that sodium chloride. They can put that chloride in there, something that it ain't. You know what I'm saying? That's a white substance, unnatural. All right, so it holds on to the alkaline pH by holding on to the water. All right, so excess stress can inhibit the cellular advancement by demineralizing the cell or dehydrating it. Thus, it rewinds us back to stress management. So, being mindful of what we are thinking, then what we inevitably say, and then what we act on, and not, going into that reactive emotional mind will release that stress. So when we are stressed, it actually inhibits the cell from advancing because it takes the minerals, the natural minerals, away from it by causing dehydration, that bonding, that squeeze on the cell. Squeeze, it's like a rag, if you squeeze a rag, a wet rag, what happens? The water comes out of it. That's the same effect. So be mindful of what we're thinking, that will release stress from the cell, and that water or the minerals won't dehydrate, and that water will stay in there. High-grade sea salt, pink sea salt, Himalayan, black salt, black sea salt, they're good minerals magnesium, sodium, whatnot, potassium, calcium. Seaweeds are excellent source to get all those trace minerals out of. Foods, it's a list of them that go on forever. Kale, spinach, basically raw green, leafy green vegetables. Bee pollen and pine pollen contain high mineral content as well. So we can get that. And then there's very high protein, bioavailable protein and nucleic acid. Nucleic acid is the building blocks of the DNA. So bee pollen, pine pollen, and bee pollen may be the only animal substance that has that in it. If we want to call it bee animal, it's insect, so that's a good way to get a high grade bioavailable trace minerals as well as protein. And magnesium is one of the most important macro minerals that we need on a day-to-day basis. It's one of the primary brain nutrients. So, along with omega-3 fatty acids and glucose, magnesium is used by every cell of our body, so it's contributing to the divine soul. It is also a powerful nervous system relaxant, so it will help assist us in remaining calm, which in essence will allow us to transmit that higher vibration to our cellular environment, and that will enhance the cellular or the genetic expression properly. You know what I'm saying? So magnesium, along with the meditative type of exercises, will really give us a boost on that opening of the genetic expression and our truth of who you truly are, your higher self, your true purpose. Okay. Chlorophyll is high in raw leafy greens. So, like we said, with the raw leafy greens, spinach or whatnot, arugula, different ones out there, kale. Raw cacao is very high magnesium. So you can get some raw chocolate or cacao, the powder, you can add it to your blends or your juices, whatnot, your soups. So if you want to put it in there, your cereals, oatmeals, I've done it and all that and some, you know what I mean? It helps. It does what it's supposed to do, you know what I mean? So check that out. Transdermal magnesium oil, you put that directly on your skin. That's one of the best ways to get magnesium to the body, directly to your skin. That's the best way to get bioavailable magnesium to your body. All right. And if you haven't done this yet, leave processed foods alone. Consuming with, a majority of non-GMO organic food as well as wild food. Processed food is basically, if it's in a box or something like that, that means man did something to it. Either they took something out and added something to it. So it's not the natural way of where the minerals should be able to activate in the body. So get the non-GMO box food most definitely, and eat a lot of organic food as well as wild food. Organic food basically like fruits and vegetables. Majority of that, the 80-20 diet, is superlative. So I'm trying to tell you something powerful. 80% raw, 20% cooked or whatnot, throughout the day. Juice, drink water, cook a little something, through the day. Don't overcook. I wouldn't recommend doing no ribs or nothing like that. You really want to get into your higher state of awareness and everything and be who you are in truth. Okay, so organic food as well as wild food. Wild food, like mushrooms, things like that. Things that's grown in the wild by nature. They're not necessarily organic. Organic basically means somebody was watching over it and putting that in it that was causing some like pesticides, insecticides, stuff like that, irrigation. So they didn't do none of that. That's organic. But wild food is natural food. That's just like you go out there and you see some dandelion, like got some dandelion bark in the house. Start putting that in teas and stuff, make some tea out of that. You know what I'm saying? That's a good way to get magnesium and things like that from those type of elements. Omega-3 fats are very, very important for if you look at the majority of the world, well, look at America right now, and our omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, it's like I think it's 6-to-1, whereas it should be a 2-to-1. It should be a 2-to-1 omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. So if it's 6-to-1, then we are getting entirely too much omega-6 in our body, in our blood, in our cells, and in our DNA. Why is this detrimental? Why is this not so healthy? Well, basically, omega-6s cause inflammation, whereas omega-3 actually cleans up inflammation, releases it. So if we are made up majority of omega-3, we receive and transmit information that determines our genetic expression. By way of this, the cellular membrane also consists of omega-6. As I was saying, so omega-3 fats are very important. For one, they make up a majority of our cellular membrane, which we receive and transmit information that determines the genetic expression. The cellular membrane also consists of omega-6, and it is more concerned with sending signals out of the cell, whereas omega-3s are responsible for receiving signals and then transmitting it to the nucleus of the cell where the DNA is located. So I say this again, omega-6s are more concerned with sending signals out of the cell, whereas omega-3 is responsible for receiving signals. So we are getting more omega-6. That means we're receiving signals by way of the omega-3, but we have an overabundance of omega-6 in our bloodstream. So that means we keep sending out whatever the signal is fast, so the omega-3 gets sent back out, or whatever the input that's coming into the cellular expression or the genetic expression. Remember, it's going to get mirrored back out. So if I'm taking in all this sending information, basically omega-6s, whereas it's actually putting information out or whatnot. So whatever I am taking in, I'm going to definitely shoot that back out into the external reality. And what we are taking in right now is a lot of fear. So if I'm eating a lot of food items that are basically omega-6s, then that could cause issues externally. And the omega-6s are vegetable oils, basically. You got your sunflower, you got your corn, soybean, cottonseed oils, safflower. So those are omega-6s, and they're just about in everything. Every food item has some type of omega-6 in it. So be it safflower, sunflower, or corn, especially the corn, high fructose corn syrup, and corn syrup is now present in every processed food, and it's addictive, highly addictive, just as sugar. So it's causing a lot of issues, that mucus buildup is contributed by way of the GMO food, and most GMO foods have this corn syrup in it, or high fructose corn syrup, leading to issues internal. So we're becoming unhealthy due to the fact of a lot of the overactive omega-6, the overindulgence of omega-6 versus omega-3s. So we definitely want to start to be able to transmit the energy out properly instead of just, receive the energy properly in place of sending it out. So omega-3s are responsible for receiving signals and then transmitting it to the nucleus. So if we don't have omega-3s in the bloodstream going to the cells, then whatever the high vibration input is, it won't be received by the nucleus where the genetics or our genes are located, the DNA is located. So the expansion won't occur if we have an abundance of omega-6s, which is basically going to cause inflammation, so the body's going to be stressed. So when we are stressed, then it's harder to locate our genetic expression, which is connected to all things. And the expansion of the genetic expression would be delayed due to an overabundance of this omega-6 versus omega-3 ratio. So the 2-to-1 is the natural omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, but if we are in excess of omega-6, we need to be doing like a 4-to-1 on the flip of it, or 6-to-2. So we'll flip that omega-3 to 6, and then omega-6 to 2. So it'll be a 6-to-2 ratio. So we need to be putting a lot more omega-3s in our body. Flaxseed oil, algae, a good natural way to get it from vegetable type of arena, and also from a meat substance, salmon, cod liver, oil is good for omega-3. So it's in mostly all the, like I said, omega-6 is in a lot of stuff, potato chips, crackers, cereal, everything that you can think about as a snack that's in there, some type of omega-3. Has lecithin in it, and lecithin, L-C-I-T-H-I-N, tells the brain that we ain't satisfied, so we eat that whole bag of potato chips. What it say, you can't just eat one. So the advertising already telling us, you ain't going to put this bag in, eat the whole bag. You know, you ain't going to get another whole bag. You know what I'm saying? And peanuts, you know what I'm saying? Peanuts, omega-3, omega-6s. So, you know, I used to eat Reese's Cups, and I would eat the whole, what is it, like 12 of them or something like that, one packs for $1. I was happy when I seen them $1 packs of Reese's Cups. About 3 of them, they gone, especially on a munchie night. Man, you know what I'm saying? I blew something up like that. I blew something down, whatever. Man, I eat the whole junk quick, didn't think twice. So get those omega-6s out and put those omega-3s in. Helps purge, helps purify, and as well it will bring about an exactation and the enhancement of your cellular and genetic expression. All right, rebuilding the digestive tract is very important, so we need to ensure that we have optimal assimilation and digestion by way of evacuation. But the assimilation is very important. We want to be able to break down those food items correctly so that we can get the nutrients out of them. I just chew 5 times, 10 times and swallow. You know what I'm saying? I'm not breaking the food down properly. There's no enzymatic action, so the metabolism and the assimilation process is going to be delayed, and that delay is going to eventually cause obstructions of dams within the bloodstream and within the body, so natural flow of metabolism. So that's going to, increase in weight, inflammation, and then eventually it can lead to those other issues later on. So we definitely need to make sure that we are evacuating properly, that means once a day basically, but also we need to be very attentive of how we are introducing food into or anything drink into our physical body. Where we at, plays an important role. What I'm thinking, if I'm talking, we shouldn't talk while we eat. Should be reading while we eat. We should be very attentive of that moment, stay in that moment. Chew the food properly, maybe 30 to 50 times. Allow spit to formulate in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? We call it drink your food eat your drink. So when you're drinking something, swig it around in your mouth about 10, 30 times, allow some saliva to get in there, those enzymes within the mouth, so it breaks it down and helps assimilate whatever's in the drink as well. But be sure to chew your food properly so that you can break down those nutrients so they will get into the cells properly to enhance your genetic expression and not cause any problems with the body as well, because these lumps and bruises that's coming up out our skin is basically just food that's not being chewed properly, and it get old over time. It causes it to smell bad because it's not being digested and then assimilated and then digested out the body. It's called CHIME, CHIME. So this CHIME, when it's left in the body too long, causes putrefaction and fermentation. And, you know, fermentation is the same as get some berries or some fruit or something, fermenting them and making some liquor or some wine or something. So it's a process of something getting old. So if it's in the body, it goes to the blood, then it's definitely going to be sitting in that liver. So this fermented blood, or this fermented food or putrefied food, it's going to cause the body to mold inside, internally. And we see signs of it externally with these lumps and humps and bumps and bruises that I ain't even brushed up against nothing, and I got, you know, a knot forming on my body. You know what I'm saying? So these type of things are occurring because of the lack of digestion, the lack of assimilating those food items or the nutrients within the food, because we're not chewing. But also we have artificial food that we are eating. So artificial food is not going to break down properly to eat because it's already processed externally by machines or, you know, by the means of man. So taking our processed foods out your diet will help with enhancement of the genetic expression as well. But be sure you need to have a strong digestion. So repopulate the intestines with friendly flora basically, with friendly bacteria, probiotics, good, you know, after detoxing the intestines. You know, detox first, do something like liver and kidney detox and detox intestines with a good flush, enzymatic, very, very powerful, at least once a month or twice a month. I do them bi-monthly, so I do one every 2 weeks. Tomorrow, actually, public enema number 1. So on the first, I go in and get that enzymatic going. So it's like get a good fast in, and then do an enema. You know what I'm saying? A fast without an enema defeats the purpose because you will allowing those toxicities to build up in the colon where they're trying to be released, and then it goes right back into the bloodstream by way of the colon. So get a good. If you're going to fast 1 day or 2 days, whatever it may be, 3 days, be sure to do an enzymatic to clean out the colon. Otherwise, you know, the feces is going to still have that toxic environment collected upon it, so to go back in the bloodstream, basically. All right. Good way to clean out the intestines. Eating certain clays like bentonite and zeolites on a day-to-day due to their ability to magnetically attract toxic pathogens and radiation into the molecular structure. So then it safely removes those toxins and pathogens out of bloodstream, out of the body. All right, so clays, bentonite, and zeolites. You can find those online. Dr. Ali and them got them. They got them, so you can order them from them. The guys and whatnot. So bentonite and zeolites are good to help increase in friendly bacteria and keep those toxicity and pathogens and radiation out of the body. Fermented foods and drinks that are high in probiotics. I drink that kombucha just about every day now. If I can afford one, but they're pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? They're good for digestion. Pack a punch. A lot of probiotics within it. Kefir, that if you do dairy, like curdled milk or whatever, buttermilk. If you're gonna drink dairy products, buttermilk would probably be the best one to do. You know what I'm saying? Because of the friendly bacteria introduced to the gut. Yogurts, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty decent. I was doing that for a minute. The soy ones, non-GMO. Silk, I think, was making them around here. I seen them. I was doing it for a minute. Haven't had one in a while, though. You know, that good thing. By doing this, also, allowing the digestive system to be enhanced and be in proper movement, it would also increase the immune system's availability of being able to defend the body. It also will help increase in critical thinking and cognition and also emotional health. So therefore, it will bring about advancement of our genetic expression by allowing us to be less stressed again. You know what I'm saying? Anything that stresses the body, it's just the lungs, it's just the digestive system, the heart, then it's going to cause stress throughout the body in some way, but most definitely it's going to decrease in our genetic expression because that stress is binding the tail where the DNA is located, where our genetics are located. Vitamin D is very, very important. Vitamin D activates 4,000 genes that are related to optimal health. So that's roughly 10% of the entire genome. So our genetics, our DNA, it actually activates up to 4,000 health genes. You know what I'm saying? Within our body. And there's no other nutrient that does this. Of course, we know we can get natural vitamin D by going outside, getting those 2.5 hours from melanated beings, and like 30 minutes for Caucasians, where not people with less melanin, Chinese Caucasians. But we need to be out about 2.5 hours for it to be able to really penetrate the skin. So it'd be wise for us, if we're not going to be outside for 2.5 hours, to supplement and get vitamin D3, which is the most active vitamin D, or the most active form of vitamin D. So we can get the supplement, or we can get pine pollen, which is basically the only plant form of vitamin D3. Also, cod liver oil has vitamin D3 in it as well. Most animal foods have vitamin D or vitamin D3. That's the most active form of vitamin D. That, like I said, it activates up to 4,000. Health definitely needs the vitamin D. But consume adaptogens. Adaptogens help minimize stress. Basically, adaptogens, they're highly intelligent organisms that pretty much are like rovers. They go out, they're reconnaissance organisms. They survey the entire internal environment before acting on the system. And their main objective is to restore in every interconnected biological system that produces the human organism. So pretty much it helps us to adapt to stress. That's why they call it adaptogens. So by helping us adapt, it reduces and eliminates a majority of the stressors, knowing that stress is one of the main reasons that causes us to react in certain manners, which develops cellular, which depletes our cellular integrity. So these adaptogens are very essential. And you can get adaptogens are in ginseng, astragalus, and most medicinal mushrooms. So, pop some mushrooms, medicinal mushrooms, you can order them online. I've taken some. I took some in the past few years. My seafood, again, traditional, my martial arts stuff, he's a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, so he administers those type of medicinal mushrooms in place of medicine, so to speak, as Western standards would call it, pharmaceuticals. genes adapts. It helps the genes to adapt by releasing stress. All right. Can't go anywhere without this one. Essence, genes. Traditional Chinese Taoist and traditional Chinese medicine, gene is basically essence, and the essence is built off food and air again, and the water we drink. All right, so the highest quality food and air will help with basically it helps in rebuilding our cellular environment and enhancing that genetic expression by having good essence or high vibrating essence. Essence is basically the core of our life force. Is that inherently it's in our genes, by inheritance, by way of our parents in the process of conception. They call that prenatal genes, basically the essence that develop us through the ovia and the semen. Postnatal genes, or what comes after birth, will be food and air and water that we take in. All right, so this gene governs the quality as well as the duration of our life. So when our essence is minimized, when we minimize our essence or the gene due to a faulty lifestyle habits, like eating the wrong foods or not eating or overindulgence in eating, when we have a lack of exercise, exposure to toxicity, into what we're breathing in or what we may be introducing into the body, as well as our thoughts that can be toxic, stress, that's introduced by way of external inputs, as well as for men, ejaculation. Over ejaculation decreases our gene. Remember, it's 40 counts of blood in each semen, so that's life. You know what I'm saying? So that's essence. So the essence again is our core of life force energy, chi, the key, the ra, the prana. So that gene is like the physical aspect of what determines the quality as well as the duration of our life. All right, so women are having childbirth, going through childbirth, that also decreases the gene. All right, so some habits can deplete our essence and increase the aging process. So these lifestyle habits can actually cause us to age a lot faster and degenerate due to a cellular and genetic environment being stressed. So we need to take the prior steps mentioned, meditative exercises, vitamin D, essential fatty acids, trace minerals, those elements that will help increase in longevity as well as advance our cellular expression. Our genetic expression, and that's where our information is. So we want that to pop open like the flower blossoming and see our true reality within. All right, so that will help by rebuilding the essence, the gene, and mainly basically cultivating that gene or cultivating that essence is the ultimate way of maintaining health and producing longevity. So by enhancing the genetic structure through observation and discipline. So basically being attentive and mindful of certain activities, and then in such a way we will decrease certain activities such as stress, that are stress related basically. And then, over time those certain lifestyle habits will diminish, the gene will be enhanced. But basically, digestion, that's another one. To cultivate the genes, we must have a good, clean bowel system so that we can assimilate those properties properly that are within the food items and the air and whatnot. So if I'm taking in the wrong things, it's not digesting properly, then it's not going to get to the blood, it's not getting to the cells, and it's not getting to the DNA and the genetics. So most definitely make sure that we are you use the bathroom at least once a day. Regular in means regular out. Okay? Exercise is very important. Light exercise, hard exercise, anything that's dealing with like stretching, yoga, jogging is very essential due to the fact that it's going to start pumping the lymphatic system, and that eliminates toxins from around the cell, which will allow nutrients to be absorbed and assimilated within the cell properly. Okay, so assimilation is very important. Again, when we ain't assimilating the food items properly, then that's where that calm comes from, and that's where those lumps and bumps and humps start appearing within the body, trying to figure a way out. Because we ain't broke down the food properly by chewing, and then also we're taking in too much GMO'd or processed food. So these genetically modified organisms the body doesn't recognize, so it can't break down and assimilate into usage. So it's looking for other orifices or openings to come out of, and the pores are openings as well. So if it ain't coming out the butt hole, it's gonna come out the skin hole. The epidermis. So be sure to chew your food, eat properly, and eat a highly balanced diet. But basically, make sure a lot of that is consisting of vegetables. Raw leafy greens is one of the best ones that has the magnesium in it as well. Again, magnesium is very important for us to have in the blood because it actually holds on to the alkalinity within the cellular structure. The cells consist of 80% alkaline or water and 20% protein. So, this standard American diet is based on a protein diet where we have grains, meats, and dairy products as three of the main components of our diet, and the other one fourth would be fruits and vegetables. But the other day it was funny. I went to a Japanese restaurant, and a family came in there, sat down. I was eating. All I had was seaweed and tea, and they didn't give thanks. It was excellent. Family came in, and the male, the husband, was sitting there ordering. The wife went to the restaurant, and the male was sitting there ordering, and he was ordering for his two sons as well. So he ordered the hibachi steak, and he said with no vegetables on both of them. I mean, he ordered for a child as well, but he said he wants a hibachi steak as well with a sweet tea, and he said no vegetables for his and no vegetables for his child. And I listened, and I'm like, wow, does he know what he is introducing to his child at this very impressionable age? The young man couldn't have been no more than 8 years old, but he's automatically telling him don't eat vegetables, which, are alkaline. The cell is 80% alkalinity versus this meat, which is 20%. The cell is 20% protein, but our diet is based on, like I was saying, yes, you got 100%, which would be the four major groups. 100% will be made up of dairy products, grains, meats, and then fruits and vegetables. So that's 25% of each, making 100. But the diet that they have us on is telling us we got to eat this meat, this dairy, and this grain. Stay healthy, stay big, well, get strong. I don't know, but it's only 25%. Even through either case, even though this is it's in the standard American diet, or what they call the four basic food groups. This is only 25%. The cell is 80% water, but we're only taking in 25% of watery food element. That goes against the gene. The gene is essence, and essence comes from the kidneys. The element for the kidneys is water, as far as in traditional Chinese medicine. But this is not just traditional Chinese medicine. This is what our ancestors, in their discoveries, in their experiences and observation, came to that agreement that the kidneys were very vital and very important, and it holds the water by way of the urinary bladder. So, just by him saying that to his child, 20 years from now, his child's not going to be eating vegetables unless he finds another path to take other than what has been instilled upon him by his parents. So it's very important to have a good, clean digestive system, but exercise, that's where we're at right now. Exercise is very important because it helps to eliminate toxins by way of the lymphatic system, pumping out by way of the lymphs. Lymphatic means pure water, so we're getting the pure water from the lymphatic system, pumping out any toxins around the cell. It can also allows the nutrients to be absorbed and assimilated properly. Okay, so by doing this, it helps transmit information or signals to the cellular membrane and increasing the cellular and genetic health. So if there's excess time, like we was talking about, have you ever seen a toxic cell? It looks like a monster. It's just like, compared to a non-toxic cell where it's just that circle and the water around it. The circle is basically the protein. The water around it is the alkaline. So that when you see one that's toxic, it's got more protein or more that center is turning the water to fire or acid. You know what I'm saying? It's more young, and that's where our inflammation, our pains comes from the cellular standpoint. But as it builds up in certain areas, it causes other issues. It's only for evacuation points of the body. That would be the lungs with gas, burping, and stuff like that. The anus with gas, with flatulence or farting. You know what I mean? And the skin, where we would get boils and bumps like that. And the fourth one is the mouth that went up. That's right. Yeah. So, skin, respiratory system, the digestive system. And I might be mistaken on that. That's that fourth. Let me get right. Hold on. Yeah, Blak is doing that thing right now. Make sure I'm speaking on this correctly. Urinary system. Thank you very much. Yeah. The digestive system, respiratory system, the physical system, that's the skin, and the urinary system. And that's what I was talking about in the first place, the kidneys. I don't know. Sometimes they say that was that brain flatulence right there, that brain farting. So good things. For references, I had to go back to the library right there, make a big spiel on the floor. So urinary system, respiratory system, respiratory system, digestive system, and the skin, that cellular system. Those are the four means of evacuation for the body to get rid of toxins. All right. Be aware of your natural circadian, your biorhythms. By means of going to rest on time and sleeping sleeping for an appropriate amount of time. When we are resting, the body is naturally healing, and if we're going to rest at the appropriate time or the natural biorhythms of the day or circadian of the day, then our body will naturally repair by way of the cells, going into that deep sleep cycle and melatonin being introduced to the body. when we first become fatigued in the evening, we should start looking to, get to that rest state. The body will learn a pattern eventually sometimes and to go against a natural circadian and to start staying up, way beyond the natural hours of rest where we should be in the prone pretty much and getting that melatonin going through the blood to get that, melatonin again is an anti-inflammatory, well, antioxidant. So if we're not going to rest and going to sleep at the appropriate hour, which will be between 10 and 11:30. 11:30 is when that melatonin is like fully active and getting juices. Start coming in about 9, but the body ain't really. I mean, if you're tired and you're ready to go to sleep at 9, go to rest. Especially if you're a child and you're in school and stuff like that, and you need to wake up in the morning ready to go and get it. Yeah, 9, 10 o'clock. That's why, back in the day, we used to go to bed, rest at 10, especially when we was children. I remember, I think it was a TV show, Cosby or In Different World or something like that. We'll do our homework and we had time to watch a show like that at night throughout the school year. Then it was off to bed by 10 o'clock every night. Then we get up, go to school. And when no ifs, ands, or buts about it at the house, I had my TV in my room, so I stayed up, watched TV to about 12, 12:30, watching matinees, shit, basketball game or something, late night. But yeah, I see that what it did to me later on in life. I didn't have an understanding of it then, but I get thanks for that experience. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely need a lack of sleep and the circadian imbalances are caused many of the disease states and stresses that are occurring in our reality. It's called the FAD as well, as Standard American Diet, but the seasonal affective disorder. One of the reasons is due to, our imbalancing in our circadian. So we aren't paying attention to our biorhythms of what we naturally should be doing. And waking up about 7 o'clock with the sun, and being active through the day until about 7 o'clock in the evening, starting to go to rest around in or getting to a restful state, not eating too much in those hours that's going to produce, that's going to make the body start to wake up. I eat a bowl of oatmeal, bananas, or something like that, some fibers, sometimes after 10 o'clock if I'm still up. But you better believe first thing in the morning, it's a good bowel movement taking place because, basically the banana is going to slow the digestion where the digestive fluids and the digestive system in general is not going to turn back on and make the body be on alert or agitated throughout the night. Also, improper sleep decreases our healing potential, so as well as the fact of our production of cortisol, which I think we were speaking on that earlier. Cortisol, when it's released in the blood, the next day, cortisol being a stress hormone, it causes cellular damage and cellular degeneration. So when we ain't getting enough sleep, we're going to have an overproduction of cortisol, the fight or flight response, because we're trying to stay woke. You know what I'm saying? So we got too much of this agitated state because due to the fact of our circadian being off. So most definitely get enough rest at night and let's go to sleep at the appropriate hours throughout the week or whatever, the months, throughout your life. Learn to, between 10 and 11:30. I mean, if you're a good person, but I noticed those that have those jobs we call graveyard shifts. They call it graveyard shift for a reason. They just because it's after 12 o'clock, because they're early to the grave, versus someone who may work a normal shift, or what we call normal. They work, 9 to 5. So it's 9 o'clock in the morning to 5 in the evening. The sun hours, basically, what hours do we go to elementary school? And, in general, it's between those hours as well, 9 to 3. You know what I mean? So there's only 24 hours in the day. Anyway, we split that up into a fraction of 8 times 3 is 24. So they say we should get 8 hours of sleep. You know what I'm saying? So that's 1/3 of the day we should be resting. You know, we're not. You know, I do sometimes. I get my power nap in every once in a while. I try to get one at least every week to regenerate, do a little fasting. You know what I'm saying? Regenerate. You know, get them enigmatics in, detox, do some qigong, regenerate, meditate. You know, I do a little bit. Sometimes I feel like I go to the extreme, but yet still, when you know what's going on, not being paranoid, but when you know what's going on, it's best to be able to prevent some of those things that may occur that will decrease in our longevity. Cause I got people, I love me, first and foremost. But I am taking care of people, family, you know, so I have family that may need me to come and kill a snake. I don't know why. I pick the snake up and throw it back in the woods. They want me to get the hoe and cut the head. I'm like, man, what this snake do? It's poisonous, first of all, you know. So if it's poisonous, I might have to do my diligence and study it for a minute, see if it's poison, what color it got on it. But then black snakes, stuff like that, you know, I'll pick them up with a stick and throw them back in the woods, 6 feet to 2 feet. You know, it's no reason to be that afraid of things just because, and, you know, they might not know why they're afraid of it so constantly. But, of course, it goes back to the biblical implant of that information of the snake in the midst of the garden being some type of evil entity. So automatically, you know, we jump at the sight of a belt on the floor or cord in the closet plugged up. So, that snake energy is within, that knocker. All right, so those are a few ways to enhance your genetic expression. So, you know, getting good night rest, good night sleep, exercise, you know, get that lymphatic system going. Qigongs are a very excellent way to get that lymphatic system going with a soft exercise. You know what I mean? You're moving a little bit here and there, but you're also deep breathing, so it's going to help purge. And by way of transference mechanism or energy transference mechanisms, when, like in Tai Chi, you ward off, you know, so a hand is moving from the gallbladder meridian at the hip part in the leg, the stomach, and lower intestines, gallbladder or the bladder, the liver, and the kidney region. It's moving so you can have a transfer mechanism, where you can move the energy with your hand through those processes. So the light exercise or exercise like Qigong and Tai Chi, which the hand movements will help move those energy blockages within the body just by intent over force. All right, consuming adaptogens again. Adaptogens are intelligent organisms that help reduce stress. So get those adaptogens in. Those come from astragalus, you know, raw leafy green, and medicinal mushrooms that you can get online, or you can order them, or you can get them from outside. But make sure you get the right one. Vitamin D is very important. It activates 4,000 health-related genes. Again, omega-3s over the omega-6s. We need to have a high ratio of omega-3s going into the body. Omega-6s, again, are those oils, vegetable oils, corn oil, peanut oil, safflower, sunflowers, cottonseed oil. You know, get those out of the diet. And with the omega-3s, it's been found that with the overabundance of omega-6s, which causes inflammation within the body, is one of the leading causes of cardiovascular disease, the diabetes, outbreaks, obesity. You remember, if you recall, a lot of those oils have lecithin in it, so it tells the brain or it tells the body that it's not satisfied. The lecithin, Lecithin, is in a majority of those GMO foods, those box foods. So there's a lot of stuff too. I was getting those cookies called Enjoy Life cookies and ice cream out the bananas. You know, I was getting like every day, and I forgot my blood type. You know, my blood. I'm being positive, I think, but with that, most blood types are allergic to some type of oil, and most of them are those vegetable oils that have lecithin in it. But I'm eating it every day and looking at my face get round. And I forgot, you know, oh yeah, I'm eating this cookie that has this lecithin in it with this, you know, sunflower oil, whatever it may be, the oil that contained within that product. So, you know what I'm saying, obesity, you know what I mean, irritable bowel syndrome, rheumatoid arthritis, you know, from the inflammation, cancer, leads to cancer eventually, asthma, if we have any respiratory problems, mucus buildup is due to our allergic reactions, but it's basically inflammation is being introduced by an abundance of omega-6s. And if you have an autistic child and you're wondering why he's running around with a cold or the medicine is not taking a good effect, it may be due to the omega-6s. So take the omega-6s either in general completely out the diet or have a balance or a ratio to where you have more omega-3s going in and omega-6s going out. Remember, omega-6s are sending signals out. So we have a lot of omega-6s. This is the metaphysical side of it. We have a lot of omega-6s that are going into the cell, and versus the omega-3, which is actually sending signals to the nucleus where the DNA is contained. It receives the information, then it sends it to the nucleus. The omega-6 sends the information out. So we've got a buildup of omega-6 in the body, then it's the physical reality. You know, it's inflamed, it's on fire, it's toxic, basically. All right, so definitely get a balance on that. So you will want to do more omega-3s to counterbalance that omega-6 effect that's going on, because we got more omega-6 in our blood right now due to the diet that we're on. You know what I'm saying? So get some type of omega-3 going. Magnesium again, and also bring water and getting into those natural systems, ecosystems, get some good breath work going on in those systems, as well as, of course, being meditative throughout the day. Learn to still the mind in every situation. And when you notice that your reaction is against your natural sense of love and appreciation, humility, and the expression of who you truly are, then find deep within yourself and locate that love and bring it back to the table, because there's a lot going on that keeps you agitated again. So, and I notice it myself, I see that frustration. My family will call and they want something, you know, and I'll be like, I'm doing, in my mind, I got all these 100,000 things that I'm doing, but they calling me in that moment of desperation, and I, like I said, try to maintain a certain integrity within all aspects of the physical body, the mental, spiritual, and the emotional body, so that you can participate with your reality properly. So sometimes I have to go back into my emotions and like, hold on, I'm about to react by saying I can't do this because I got 100,000 other things I got to do that day. When I can just, even if I got plans that I planned, a year ago on this certain day that they need me, then maybe I need to just, push that year planning away, because if you don't know, family is very important. You know what I'm saying? Even if they ain't walk on the same path that you walk on, we're here for a reason. And our family being one of the main reasons that we don't walk away from them. We walk towards them. We hug them and embrace them. We don't have to change, but we do need to be there for them. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the main reasons I do what I do on a day-to-day. And family just ain't family that's like I came up with them. Family is family. You know what I'm saying? So we got loved ones I ain't even never met, that I don't even know yet. Like, it's family, but that's what we do and what we're doing for. You know what I'm saying? So, get that genetic expression popping right, And one of the best ways to be in that meditative mind and not be reactive so much and be impulsive or acting on the impulses. So we can really do what we got to do, you know what I'm saying? I had those blockages. All right. We're going to go into, as I was saying earlier, 42 I am affirmations based on the 42 negative confessions or affirmations of my eye as you go in and go out in the day. Basically, the way in of the heart ceremony. So, you know, these are I am affirmations. Just gonna go over them. Saying how you would perform this is basically we would breathe in through the nose in your meditative state and do whatever exercises beforehand, and then we go into the I am affirmations or Nupu Ma'akaru. I am speaking in truth, and Dua Ma'akaru, praise, word of truth, speaking in truth. So the first one is a nuke, well, the first one is Nupu, Yusek Nimiet. Nupu is N-U-K-P-U. So N-U-K space P-U, and then the word, the meta divine word is Yusek Nimet. That's U-S-E-K-H hyphenated N-E-M-M-T, and that means far strider. The next one is a nuke Hepket. Well, Nupu Hepket. N-U-K space P-U, Hepket, that's H-E-P-T, hyphenated K-H-E-T, that means fire embracer. So I am the fire embracer. Nupu Fente. Fente is F-E-N-T-I, that is nosy, N-O-S-Y, nosy. I am nosy. I want to know. I want to know. You want to know, right? So the next one, number 4, is Nupu Kabet. It's A-M hyphenated K-H-A-I-B-I-T. So that is the eater. I am the eater of one. Oh, I'm the eater of shades. So Kabet is the eater of shades. You know, that's melanin. A nuke, or Nupu Naha-Er. I keep saying a nuke. That's what I have written here. But a nuke means I am as well. Nupu Naha-Er. Nupu, N-U-K, space P-U, Nupu Naha-Er, N-E-H-A, hyphenated H-E-R. So that's I am one who advances on high. Nupu Ruruti, that's R-U-R-U-T-I. I am the double lion. Nupu Arfi Mket, that's A-R-F-I hyphenated E-M hyphenated K-H-E-T. That means I am the bundle of fire. Nupu Neba, N-E-B-A. That means I am the Lord. Nupu Set Kasu. That's S-E-T hyphenated Q-E-S-U. That means bone breaker. So I am the bone breaker. Remember, you're telling your DNA this. You're telling your genetics. I am the Lord. I am the bundle of fire. I am the double lion. You can get your own meaning out of that. What that may mean for you may not mean the same for me, but basically it's all the same. The double lion, you know, that's basically what's called the Akiru, right? The lions, but that would be Nekubat and Nekubat and Washet. So that's basically Ida and Pangala, or the sacral nerves, you know, in the lower base sacral region rising up, but bundle fire, coming in energy rising up. I am the Lord that never go back into it. So next one is Yutu Nesret. That's Nupu Yutu Nesret. So Yutu is U-T-U hyphenated N-E-S-E-R-T. That means I am green of flame. Kuruti, that's Q-E-R-R-T-I. That means the double caverns, you know, both brains, both left and right. So the next one is Nupu Her F-F. That's Nupu. Then it's HER hyphenated F hyphenated HA hyphenated F. That means I am he whose face is behind him. Nupu Basti. That's BASTI. That's the wanderer. So you are the wanderer. I am the wanderer. Nupu. So that means getting that astral body, that immortal body, floating around, doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Bringing it back to the home base, to the mothership. You know what I'm saying? And speaking on your experience. Basti, the wanderer. Basti is BASTI. Nupu Basti. Nupu Ta Ritiu. So Nupu, TA hyphenated RETIU. That means the fire of the two doors. I am the fire of the two doors. All right, Nupu Unim Senef. That's Unim Senef. UNEM hyphenated SNEF. So that means blood eater. So I am the blood eater. That doesn't necessarily mean blood. Melanin is blood is one of the most abstract physical substances of chi or blood. Of melanin. Blood is the most physical aspect of chi. Chi is, of course, you look at it like that, prana, chi, and lean is melanin. All right, so Unim Basik. UNEM hyphenated BESEK. That means I am the eater of entrails, the intestines. So, you're eating your entrails, you're eating intestines, but you're not eating intestines, so to speak. You're not eating chitlins. The intestines, that's Galilee, that's Sea of Galilee, the undulating, spiraling effect, you know what I'm saying? But the physical body spirals in, you know what I mean? So you look at the nebula, you look at a galaxy, you look at a seashell, you look at the inner core of a tree. If you cut a tree in half, it's spiraling in. So I am the eater of entrails. I am the eater of intelligence that spirals in into the nostril pass. Okay, so Nupu Neb Ma'at. NEB hyphenated MAA2. I am the Lord of Truth. Nupu Tenem EU. So that's Tenem EU. That's TENEMIU. I am the two worms. The two worms, Kundalini energy or the Ida and Pangala. Snake-like energy going up on both sides. Nupu Tutu. TU. I am the two mountains. All right, you already know. Two sides of the brain connected as one. Nupu Sertiu. And the two nostrils. All right. The Sertiu is SERTIU. Nupu SERTIU. Nupu Uamity. Uamity is UAMENTI. I am the path to the underworld or the hidden path. I am the hidden path. I am the path to the underworld. Nupu Ma'a Antuf. MAA hyphenated ANTUF. I am he who sees who he brings. So you see yourself. And you see all in activity and in accordance to that collective and that interconnection. All right, that's intuitive nature, one of your higher senses, when you're advancing and developing into those different parts of your natural self, your true self, your higher self. Yuru, HER, Nupu her Yuru. That's HER hyphenated URU. That means he who is over the older one. So Nupu her Yuru. I am he who is over the older one. Nupu, that's the DNA being enhanced by Haru, the light going into the ancestral DNA, the light going into the genetics, and then he is over, the light is over the gene, so it pops the gene back open, and that ancient information, the ancestral information is the bridge back into the physical reality once again. That's present. All right, that's the present. You know what I'm saying? All right, that's the gift. Nupu Kimiyu. Nupu Kimiyu, that's KHEMIU. Nupu Kimiyu. Kimiyu means he of darkness, so I am he who is of darkness. Kim, you know what I'm saying? All right, so the next one is Shitkuru. Nupu Shitkuru. SHET hyphenated KHERU. Nupu Shitkuru means secret mystery of the voice. So I am the secret mystery of the voice. All right. Nupu Nekhenu, Nekhenu. That means bringer of his offerings. I am the bringer of his offerings. Nekhenu. All right, Nupu Kenimti. Nupu Kenimti. Nupu Kenimti. Kenimti means the two nurses, or Washat and Nekabut again. Aset and Hetoru. So the two nurses, Ida and Pangala, the two sacral nurses residing in the sacral region. So Nupu Kenimti. I am the two nurses. Nupu Anhetepef. That's AN-HETEP-F. I am the bringer of his father. Nupu Sarakaru. SERA-KHERU. I am the voice of the everlasting prince. Sarakaru means the voice of the everlasting prince. All right, so that's your immortal body. Nupu Nebharu. So Nupu Nebharu, that is Lord of Light. Nebharu is NEB-HERU. So I am the Lord of Light. All right, that's the advancement and also the disciplining of your Merkle bar through the way of the light going in and enhancing the genetic expression as well. Nupu Sekharu. So that's SEKHRIU. Nupu Sekharu. That means I am the celestial existence. So you are the angelic, celestial Elohim Anunnaki. You know what I'm saying? You are Sekeru. I am Sekeru, celestial existence. Nupu Neb Abua. That's NEBABUI. That means Lord of Hearts. So I am the Lord of Hearts. Nupu Nefetim. Nefetim is NEFERTEM. That means beautiful, complete. So Nupu Nefetim. I am beautiful and complete. Nupu Temsepu. TEMSEPU. That means complete crown. Nupu Temsepu. That means I am the complete crown. So you're telling your genes and the intelligence by way of their intelligence through each breath that this is who you are. All right, again. So the next one would be Nupu Ari M Abef. That's AR-EM-AB-F. That means creator within the heart. So you are the creator within your own heart. Ari M Abef. Nupu Ari M Abef. I am the creator within my heart. Nupu Ahi. Ahi is AHI. That means the two chords or the two fields. So I am the two chords. Nupu Washet Riket. So that's UATCH REKHIT. That means the commander of mankind. I am the commander of mankind. So therefore you are commanding yourself, your lower self, instead of your lower self commanding you. All right. Nupu Nehebka. That's NEHEB-KA. So Nehebka is the bestower of powers. I am the bestower of powers. Nupu Neheb Neferet. So that's NEHEB hyphenated NEFERT. That means I am the bestower of good. So I am the bestower of good. Nupu Neheb Neferet. Nupu Shesitep. That's Shesitep. TCHESER hyphenated TEP. Shesitep. The T is silent. And that means the Holy Chief or Lord. Shesitep. So I am the Holy Chief or Lord. Nupu Anef. So that's Nupu Anef. Anef is AN hyphenated AF. That means the bringer of his hand. So I am the bringer of his hand. Nupu Anef. Nupu Hek Abu. Hek Abu is HETCH hyphenated ABHU. And that Hek Abu means white teeth. So I am white teeth, which basically means I am pure. So that was the last one. The first one is Far Strider. So that means you went away from some things, but, you embrace the fire and come back. You want to know, that's knowledge. You can go back through them, but it's a story. Then it goes back into why I'm white teeth, and that's purity. But if you go into the Hebrew alphabet, Shen, if I'm not mistaken, is the 21st letter, but Shen is the symbol of two teeth. But Shen means spirit, basically. And it means spirit as well in comedic sense. In META-MAJI-SHEN means spirit. And what do we know spirit to be? Purity or purification. Spirit is intelligence, untouched. You know what I'm saying? The breath, untouched, and truth. All right, so those are the Nupu Makaru. I am true of voice, so I am true of word. All right, so, and also the praise affirmation. Nupu, they're the I am affirmations in the morning, so it would be I am, true of voice, and then at night the dual affirmations or dual Makaru. So that's the praise or giving thanks of being true of voice. You know what I'm saying? All right, so this is what you're telling your genetics. Remember, epigenetics is based on external input that goes into the cellular structure that will enhance or degenerate the DNA or the cell. And the genetics can be blocked by what we are telling ourselves. Or the enhancement and advancement of our genetic expression can be blocked or locked into a cell, for real, you know what I'm saying? So to release out of that cell, we have to first see that the cell can be rearranged by the Spirit of God, Ka-El, you know what I'm saying? And the Spirit of God, or El, spirit is intelligence, and that's by way of the breath, you know what I'm saying? So getting that light in there and that potential into that 99.999% void or empty space is what they say, will enhance that process of filling the emptiness. Just by going through the meditative exercises, putting good light in there, non-GMO, and then going into these types of elements as well, where we're actually telling the genes what it's going to be versus what the television might be. Tell means to speak. Their vision is the operation of what we're seeing. So the television, when it's fused together as one, you see this based on left and right brain activity. But it's an external output, an external thing, input that's going inside of us that's from someone else's perspective on who we are and not in truth, in Makaru. So I am affirmations, or I am true of voice, goes straight to your cellular structure by way of your voice and your audio, basically, by what you're telling yourself through your visualizations of what these words may mean to you personally in your experience. I can bridge in what I have gained in my experience. I did this for probably like 60 days. It was like one of those things where, I'm going to do this for a certain amount of time. I still do it to this day. It's been about 2 years since Dr. Aleem introduced me to the 42 in one of the classes, the online class, a couple of years ago. And I took it from there. He told me, he's like, it's your soapbox. You do what you want to with it. You know what I'm saying? So I did that, and I saw afterwards, in my observation and experience, that things became more easier as far as being able to have certain accesses to the intangibles that were not there, so to speak. It really is intent over force. So basically, I just let go and let God have it through what I'm telling DNA or the ancestral information, the Ankh star that has the activation of our answers. So when we are forcing the answer and trying to locate it, we'll get some answers, but it ain't going to be the natural process because that force or that fear is in there. You know what I'm saying? So letting go and being non-emotional and receiving the answer through the DNA first is going to come out eventually as truth. So Makaru, so these are Nupu Makarus. I am true of voice. So what we are telling ourselves, first and foremost, is going to affect our cellular enhancement or cellular discuss. And we live or die from the cellular point of view, but basically, if our DNA hasn't popped open and not giving us the answers to the ancestors or through that Ankh star or whatnot, then what is taking place is a flow death, basically being choked from the cells, cellular point of view. So the immortal body might have a delay in being processed properly. Or just have blockages in it, you know. You want to have fun with it, so let's have fun with it, you know. This is something that I've done. I mean, everybody has their own cup of tea. And, you know, we did it a different way in the past. This one seems to be okay, you know. Just, you know, I'm not a preacher, so I'm not, definitely, this is not a religion again, so I'm not going to say, if you don't do this, you're not going to do it. It's not, because everybody has a different pattern, you know what I'm saying? But this is just, those are, in particular, are some practical exercises, like I said, that I've introduced to myself and to my cells to be able to pop up out of that reactive state, but also to be able to enhance some of those gifts to where the physical body ain't got to work so hard to get to certain places by allowing the spiritual body or the immortal body to go out there and do what it got to do and not interconnect it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Again, I'm going to come out the holy tablets that give the El-Hay or El-Hay, the living soul, El-Ha. The living soul, I'm going to start at power, vitality, or energy on page 670, and I'm going to end on page 673. All right, so the power, vitality, or energy. Each blood cell must have a well-balanced power, vitality, you know, chi, prana, kundalini, whatnot, raw, life force, energy, melanin, just breath, intelligence. So each blood cell must have a well-balanced power, vitality. As it goes through the arteries and veins of the body, this vitality results from a proper relationship between the etheric form and the physical form. When you breathe into your lungs oxygen, this is physical. On the other hand, there is something else that is in the air which gives you life and vitality. A new Elyon, El, the Most High, the highest, puts it there, is a spiritual life force called the divine breath. All right, so the divine breath, Nitish Shu, all right, that divine breath is the intelligence, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's melanin, external and internal melanin. That's what formulated this physical body. You know what I'm saying? Elyon, El, the Most High, the highest. That's what that means. You know, we could say that's an entity of like a being, but, you know, in actuality, you know, that's an energy or principle that is internal. That's the indwelling intelligence. All right, so the spiritual life force, spiritual intelligence, the spiritual breath, life force called divine breath. All right, this is the divine breath. As a red blood cell leaves the lungs and goes to the heart and is pumped around through the system, it throws off some of its oxygen and vitality, some of its life, and picks up a little more of the mental part that forms its outer wall or shell. In this way, it strengthens itself in the physical sense, but revitalizes itself as far as its life force is concerned. That it loses in life force, it has distributed at the various capillaries in the physical form and has given strength and vitality to the physical form in this way. So when the breath comes in, it throws off some of its oxygen and life or vitality and picks up a little more of the mental part of the form in its outer wall or shell, and that strengthens the physical sense of the body, but it also degenerates the true essence of the life force. All right, so eventually the blood cell is journeyed through the veins to the heart again. So it goes back to the heart, from the blood cell back to the heart. And by the time it reaches the heart again, it has a strong physical shell with very little life force in the center of its body. All right, so it's just that little center turns into that protein that forms the muscles and tissues and whatnot, which is very important for the body to exist, yet it takes away from the true vitality, the true essence of the cell, the alkalinity part. And so by the time it reaches the heart again, the strong physical shell has very little life force in the center of his body. It is then a revitalized cell, and the heart sends it up to the lungs once more to receive more to the life force in the center of his body. Then it descends from the lungs to the heart to be redirected through the body on its job of distributing vitals and life. Each time the blood cell in the normal healthy body leaves the lungs and goes to the heart to steer its great job of vitality, it is a well-balanced, harmonious cell containing the proper proportions of etheric life force. But after it has gone its way, giving life force to the various parts of the body, and is ready to come back to the lungs again, it is an imbalanced cell because its life force has left and changed the balance. So it is important to make use of breathing exercises such as Tai Chi, to breathe in Ah and to breathe out La. To come in contact with the spiritual self, etheric form, remember this. Now you know the composition of your form of Sakar, son of Aten and Lilith. So we know the composition of our truth, being it resides within the divine breath. That divine breath goes through cycles of balance and imbalance. And it says right here, it's imperative to make use of breathing exercises such as Tai Chi, to breathe in Ah and exhale out La, or breathe in and Ra, the great light. And that's the source, the great source, the hidden light, basically melanin. You can come up with your own affirmation. But just breathing in and breathing out, it doesn't have to be words. The intent over force. You know what I'm saying? Just breathing in, breathing out. And going deeper than the lower dantian or the abdomen, making the abdomen large like a beach ball, then exhaling as close to the spine as possible. All right, so now you know the composition of your forms are called son of Atum and Lilith in the midst of the garden, so to speak. So the 7 degrees of substance. Body, you were, is composed of 7 degrees of substance. These 7 substances vary in vibration. 3 are the main substances of the physical form, and 4 are the main substances of the spiritual form. The spiritual form is the body of life force. Without it, the physical form is without life. The spiritual form is the pattern upon which the physical form is built. It is the battery which recharges the physical form with life force. Spiritual form, spirit, again, means breath. All right, so that breath is what forms the pattern upon which the physical form is built. It is the battery which recharges the physical form with life force. The form possesses force centers for absorbing and digesting spiritual forces, just as the physical form possesses organs to absorb and digest food. The form possesses force centers for absorbing and digesting spiritual forces, just as the physical form possesses organs to absorb and digest food. So if we have some situations with our digestion physically, then we're not going to digest the spiritual aspects of those spiritual forces that are forming the physical body. These vital force centers, as the seats of light or the melanin centers or the chakras. The spiritual form is at all times taking tremendous psychic and spiritual forces through its various seats of light and sending them through the glands of the physical body as well as the bloodstream. And sometimes the spiritual form says right here, the spiritual form is at all times taking tremendous psychic and spiritual forces through its various seats of light. Sometimes that psychic information can be from energy vampires or any type of information that's outside of us that has psychic information that is going into our spiritual forces centers and manipulating and altering our natural pattern of our growth in our genetics. So those psychic forces, we know as far as being gene or essence is again the food and air and water that we're taking in. So those psychic forces reside within that as well. So psychic and spiritual forces through its various seats of light and sending them through the glands of the physical body as well as by the bloodstream. The spiritual form penetrates every cell of the physical form. It must at all times be able to properly discharge its duties of operation. That means proper assimilation, digestion, respiration, all that. It has to be proper. That of properly absorbing and distributing the life force of the universe through its own centers. And it must at all times be properly attuned to the dense physical form in order for perfect health to manifest. So we must be attuned to the physical form, to this physical form, in order to be attuned to the more subtle realities of the other spiritual bodies. So if we are in conjunction with the physical, then of course we're in conjunction with and in correspondence with the spiritual body, mind, spirit. You know what I'm saying? The body must be activated properly through mind, so the spirit can flow through both and be ingested and digested properly to formulate those subtle bodies within not so subtle body of physical reality. You know what I'm saying? All right, so these four centers, the four centers of the spiritual form lay upon and thoroughly penetrate the glands of the physical form and draw in the solar energy. They're connected to those 7 glands that we talk about being 7 chakras. The pineal gland, the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, the thymus gland, the adrenal glands, the pancreas, and the urinary or the prostate gland, and the women's not ovaries, but uterus. Thank you. There we go. Appreciate that. Drawing the soul and life force of the atmosphere. The four centers of the spiritual form lay upon and thoroughly penetrate the glands of the physical form and draw in the solar energy and life force of the atmosphere and put them into the physical form by their counterparts, the physical glands. These four centers or seats of light are the sockets into which the glands are plugged in or are plugged in order for the life force to flow into the physical form. So these four centers, these chakra centers or whatnot, are the sockets for where the power source is plugged. We're plugged into the power source by way of these sockets. When your body becomes ill, what has happened is the physical and the spiritual forms have somehow become connected. The physical is cut off from the source of life force. Something or some type of connecting wire between the two forms have been either severed or damaged, and your inner light dulls. Your body begins filling with darkness. That's toxicity, basically, over acid, over protein. The cells starve for the life force, vitality, energy, and slowly die if the connection is not repaired. All right, that 80-20 is a good way, or going raw for a while, good way to repair the cellular structure and get that connection back through alkalinity, watery foods. The process of healing. This is the next subtitle. This is chapter 7. How do the Anunnaki or the angels of the green light fit into the process of healing? The angle of green light fit into the process of healing. How are the healings manifested? What power is at work to help you regain your physical perfection? Sometimes instantaneously, sometimes overshadow hours, sometimes requiring longer. The great healing force which operates under the direction of the subconscious mind is available to everyone. It is a life force which, if properly directed, could keep perfect every physical form, which could heal everything. It is the green light directed by Murdoch. Peace and blessings of El-Elo be upon you, ruler of Malakut. The secret is to understand how to direct his life force to release tension within and to stimulate its vibration to bring all the cells of your physical form into harmony, one with the other. Murdoch, peace and blessings of the new El-Elo be upon him, releases this same healing force within El-Kut, the center of the sons of the green light. All right. So the secret is to understand how to direct this life force to release tension within and to stimulate its vibration to bring all the cells of your physical form into harmony, one with the other. Murdoch, peace and blessings of a new El-Elo be upon him, releases the same healing force within El-Kut, the center of the sons of the green light. El-Kut is the spine. All right. The green light is basically the breath. So the green light goes in, or El-Qadir, the green light goes into El-Kut. And hence, we all know the green is one of the best colors to visualize as it goes within the cells and that watery type of environment. Back again, natural color of light. You know, the green one, Geb was also represented as Osiris. You know what I'm saying? So Osiris, Geb, basically the god of earth being greenish blue type of. All right, so through mind power focuses with full intensity upon the inner world and upon the acceleration and direction of the inner forces, also employs the use of prayer and meditation, visualization of the presence of the green light, affirmation of the power of its presence, and stimulating through focalizing thought force the tremendous life energy within and surrounding the physical form. Through this focalized mind power, the green light forces act like a magnet stimulator within. It begins immediately to attract from the swirling sea of ether around us the sweeping current of green light, which is awaiting to be drawn into any reservoir of life force. Thus stimulated, the physical form becomes an electromagnetic force field, surging with increased power and drawing more and more potent currents into itself from the surrounding ether. Every molecule, every atom which builds upon the cells of the physical body is built around a minute center of light, which is the spiritual force. It is this infinite small light dot, divine in aspect, life lights from a new Elion El, the Most High, the highest, which is the secret power that holds together the atom and the molecule. It is the center of the molecular solar system. The atom is nothing more than a tiny solar system charged with electric and magnetic power. So basically, that's getting at, in a nutshell, is how to form your nutshell and how to keep that nutshell properly attuned, that immortal body, that forming the physical body into a ship. You know what I'm saying? So the four centers need to be awakened. Of course, the melanin centers or the chakras need to be online and healthy. You know what I'm saying? So that light can go in there. You know, in the Matrix, you saw them being unplugged from one reality, like there's batteries. You know what I'm saying? These machines has taken over the physical man and put him to sleep. You know what I'm saying? But when they go and wake up somebody, I guess the ones on Nebuchadnezzar that was living within Zion, the mountain, within the mind, they go and wake up one. They get unplugged from that physical aspect of where the senses being operated by the machines or by something that's external and being manipulated, and then they go back into the light body to where they can jump over building, from one building to the next building like free runners, and do all these different types of things physically, because the sense of fear no longer exists. The false experience is pretty real. You know what I'm saying? Take a little minute to get over the fear elements and take practice, Yeah, since we know this is a matrix or whatever, so it's a mold, basically, that's operating on our availability of attention and energy. So, the littles, the elites have learned to control us by way of what we feel. You know what I'm saying? And we're feeling things on lower vibration, then that's what the cellular structure is going to regenerate. And we're just talking about the omega-6s. We're taking in all these elements, that's based on different type of qualities that personify externally on different levels and wavelengths. So be sure to take care of yourself by way of the four centers. The four centers are the located and the ones that we generalize on as far as the chakra system is concerned, those 7 glands. But all of it is interconnected by way of nadis, so-called 72,000 nadis that are connected to the Edapagala, the Sushumana, or the chakra nerve, the central nervous system, and going to the brain and going to all those glands as well, those 7 chakras. So all of it is interconnected and forming the electromagnetic field, and that will be, in essence, your immortal body, that's protecting you from all this other stuff, but it's your ship, that's your vessel, flying around through the day, through the night, I ain't even here right now. That's what I be saying. So, what does that mean? I'm not even here right now. That means, I'm not talking here. My voice is here. But am I here as far as being infinite, being omnipresent, basically. Omniscient, omnipresent, and powerful. So we're all knowing, all always there, and we're all powerful. That's the aspect of God, right? So look, I'm gonna read out of the Egyptian yoga about META-MAJI-SHEN. Let me find the page. For so. Speaking on immortality. Oh, there it is. No, maybe not. I don't know. If no, what's next? That works for me. Maybe it's in. I just had it a second ago. I was reading. Oh, okay. No. Well, I guess not that important. If I don't find it here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it is in Egyptian Yoga Volume 1. States right here, speaking on immortality. The path of immortality is hard, and only if you find it, the rest await the great day when the wheels of the universe shall be stopped, and your mortal sparks shall escape from the sheaths of substance. Woe unto those who wait, for they must return again in consciousness and knowing to feed ground of stars and await a new beginning. All right, so these are ancient Kemetic scriptures. So he who has eaten the knowledge of every god, their existence is for all eternity and everlasting in their spirit body. What they willeth, they doeth. And that's going back into the I am affirmations about what you're telling your cell, your DNA. So if you're telling your cell certain things, and that's eating the knowledge of God, the information of the nature, of the divine of nature, the more light, going into that dark space, filling the dark space, the empty space of light. You know what I'm saying? It's a give and take relationship. The next one goes to say, if then thou learn that thou art thyself life and light, and that thou only happen to be out of them, thou shalt return again to life. So right here, it states, the union of the word and the mind produces that mystery, which is called life. Learn deeply of the mind and its mystery, but therein lies the secret of immortality. So it goes right back to what we are telling ourselves. And being God, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipowerful, omnipotent, is what we're speaking on, but that builds the immortal body in those three aspects. I'm not talking about from a dogmatic point of view of religions or anything about what God is, but the personification of being and walking in that aspect of material, of being divine, so to speak. So right here is another one of the ancient scriptures. States, to know God, strive to grow in stature beyond all measure. Perceive that there is nothing beyond our capability. Know thyself, deathless, and able to know all things, all art, sciences, the way of every life. Become higher than the highest height and lower than the lowest depth. Imagine thyself all senses of animals, fire, water, dryness, and moistness. Think of thyself in all places at the same time, earth, sea, sky, not yet born, in the womb, young, old, dead, and in the after-death state. See, that's the omnipresent, that's the omnipotent, and that's the omniscient. You know, see yourself as everything. So you remember when we ask our question, who am I? You know, the answer is I am everything, and I am, you know, that's who you are. You're everything, and you are a being, everything. So there's no complacency in that. And there's no way to be stuck when you know that you are everything. So each day, you know, the question that arises a lot in life, of course, is who am I? What am I here for? What's my purpose? You're here as everything. Your purpose is everything. And that's being, and that's becoming. It's, at first, you know, we go back into that old saying, you know, hearing is believing, seeing is knowing, but experiencing is becoming. Experiencing is being. When you have went through all those different processes of, you know, hearing from other people, then you actually go out and you know by the experience of what it is. Through that experience, you become. But when you're being it and there's nothing, you know, it's just you're walking in it. You're everything. You become your true self, your higher self, and you know yourself to be deathless and immortal. Then you are being. You are you. You are your natural higher self. You know what I'm saying? And none of the things on the external. You know, you'll walk into a room with 20 people, all of them with guns, and you care less. You could carry less. You know what I'm saying? You don't need no gun license when you're immortal. You know what I mean? You feel me? I mean, I'm just saying certain things on the physical reality that gives us caught back right up into that stress of the physical reality. So letting go, letting God have it, let your natural state of being and awareness become conscious inside of the intelligence, inside of what we are naturally putting in as ourselves. We ain't coming with a gun. We ain't coming with a knife. We ain't coming here hating. That's something we learned. That's learned behavior. You know what I'm saying? Those things have been brought to us by someone who has less love and care and affection for their own mama and daddy. You know what I'm talking about? And for their own children. So, you know, we didn't come here to hurt each other. We came here with open arms. And the first thing we did was look for mama to give us a hug. You know what I mean? So now we're fighting each other for no reason. And that's, you know, in that fight, flight response, we're producing all type of we're producing things in the body that doesn't necessarily need to be there in that active mode when it's not an adrenaline type of situation or where a crisis, we get all riled up because something I've seen on TV is something, and all these emotions being, they're going through the body. You know what I'm saying, as far as the feelings. But I'm not going through this movie. This movie is moving emotions, and I'm not going through that situation genuinely. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason for me to produce any type of hormones to cause that effect in my cellular structure to go into that fight or flight response. You know what I'm saying? So being calm and non-emotional, even at the highest type of emotional activity that, I've lost loved ones, and they come and they let me know. And the first thing I sense is, especially if it's something, my dad's birthday is coming up in June, and I thought about it the other day. I got a little emotional, but then what I thought about after I thought about, him not being here. It's been like 3 years now almost. I was like, okay, well, not being here physically, whatever. In that form of thought, the energy is still here. And but I thought about it. Even through his fears, he had courage. So we had loved ones that may fade away as far as physically, but we must remember them on high vibration. So when we do go through that emotional moment of grief or sadness, it can be transferred and transformed to a moment of happiness and courage. You know what I'm saying? So even in his fear, as I noticed in his life, there was a lot of things that he wasn't afraid of, but he was, though, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't want to show those spirits. I'm being his child or son or whatnot, I noticed that, as he got older, and those things in his transition, he started popping up and asking these questions to me, his son, his child, his offspring. I'm answering him some of the most important questions of his life, you know what I'm saying? And I gave him, like I spoke on before, I gave him the best answer to my ability. But one of the questions, you may not have heard, but one of the questions was, where he's on his dad, about his third day before the transition, he asked me, he said, where I come from. And I looked at him in his eyes. I'm sitting next to him on the bed holding his hand. And I said, you came from yourself. You know what I'm saying? You came from the universe. You are the universe, basically. And, I try to keep it as simple as possible, but telling, word of truth, my Karu, speaking truth. I couldn't falsify who he was, so I just was like, you came from yourself. You are you. You are everything. And then he pointed at the corner, the right corner of the wall of the ceiling, and he said, what's that hole doing right there in the wall right there going outside? How did that big old hole get in the corner? And I looked at him, because he had been going in and out and speaking on different aspects of alternate dimensions or gateways and being there, that medication, radiation, chemo, and all that. And then him being, I guess, a spiritual being as well. I don't know. I got it from somewhere. It's probably just us, indigenous people, but he was indigenous, individuated through himself as well. But he looked at that corner, he seen the black hole, seen a vortex. And I said, that's your doorway. That's your gateway. Don't lose it. You know what I'm saying? Stay with that right there. I'm going through it when it's your time. He had some moments right there towards the end where he was saying certain things, that I still remember as far as an emotional memory type of effect, that I'm dealing with it day by day. And I like I spoke on before, transform and transfer that energy from a lower state of grief in the lungs to a higher state of happiness. So it breathes back into the heart region as happiness and love. So we always want to transform those negative emotions, like when anger arises. If it's not necessary, we can transfer that anger into a motivating type of aspect or a reality due to the fact of Kundalini or the lower base energy is utilized as action. But if we utilize that anger in its format of being just anger and aggressive and not using it for passion and motivation, and then we're accepting the anger aspect or the fear aspect over the love aspect. So we need to accept it, transform the anger from not accepting the situation as what it is, and accept it for what it is and be at one with it. If we are one with it, then we know God. To know God is to know the universe. So the knowledge of self is basically knowledge of zero, knowledge of null. You know what I'm saying? We perpetually going in a circle of emotions and fear, and really not getting to the deeper core roots of the subject at hand. Subject being inner reality, then we're just basing our reality on the objects, on the objective, on the action. And that's going to be, if it's not balanced properly, it's going to be based on fear, because everything right now is based on something that's external. It's good to get the, majority of what's going on goes in, what I'm saying? But if we're not tied into our ancestral genetic expression, that bridge that we walked across. You know what I'm saying? We got to look back to see how far we've come. You know what I'm saying? That is the ship. That's the mothership. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you know, we stand on the shoulders of those that came before us. That's our DNA. And those ladders, those rings. So as we stand on those shoulders, if we're not collectively connected or interconnected by way of nature or our true divinity within, which is that zero, that null. When we got here, when none of this, you know what I'm saying? This is something that grew on us, like fungus on a tree. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, detox, get the mind right. You know, some of the things that are in our mind is going to block the process of the genetic expression to pop, you know, and open up, you know, and expand outwardly. And then in that expansion, that will give us growth to that immortal body or that ship, that vessel, that is what we've been floating around on. That's that ancestral information. And it goes on and on and on and on. This is infinite, you know what I'm saying? The infinite immortal intelligence, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, basically, it's who we are. It's this infinite intelligence, hidden light of intelligence. AMON-RA. You know, but it can get confusing. There's all types of different ways to alleviate that confusion. So, you know, do your diligence. You know, I give you a couple of tips and tricks here and there on the formulations of different aspects of yourself in the alchemy, you know, the immortal body, you know what I'm saying, the miraculous body, you know, bodybuilders. You know, I'm not just speaking on the body as a physical body, but the body contributing to the divine soul, that memory, you know, that we are, those memories that we are forming that are already present. Because another time, remember, time state doesn't exist. It's an illusion. You know, there's only one day, basically, you know, whatever we're going to call it, 24 hours, if that's the case. And if it's 24 hours, we got 8 hours to sleep, we got 8 hours of work, then we got 8 hours to play. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, if that's what's going on, so I would want it to be 24 hours of play. You know, and naturally speaking, that's what it's supposed to be. 24 hours of just pure fun, even in the dream state. But if my 8 hours of work is agitated and stress-filled, I'm going to take that straight to my subconscious sleep state. So how am I going to play 8 hours or whatever those other 8 hours of the day? You know, a lot of people these days, we spend, I think, 6 to 7.5 hours with social media, with TV, listening to the radio, playing video games, things like that, 6 to 8 hours. So if I'm a school child or whatever, I go to school and I got those 6 to 8 hours of school, then I get out, I got those 6 to 8 hours of where I'm going to be in front of the tube, and then I got those 6 to 8 hours where I'm sleeping. So everything that I'm doing throughout the day is not going to be based on true fun or natural fun, you know what I'm saying, in the sun. It's going to be based on what man has given to me and now has basically manipulated and thwarted my attention to where I'm now controlled by these external devices or whatever, these things is outside of me, and it's altering my genetic expression. It's not allowing my genes to properly generate the truth and essence of who I am, you know what I'm saying? And I went through that process. I had the big question, who the heck, what the heck, why the heck, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I ain't had the power to answer it at a young age, but through the experience, and I get thanks, you know, and being attentive to my loved ones around me, seeing what they are going through, and knowing this is just genetic expression. It's something that's within all of us that we are locating in this local reality now because of something that is going on in the non-local reality, some type of disconnect. And when we're proper in our observation, we can get back online properly, and that disconnect will be connected back properly. So that connection is a divine connection of all. You know what I'm saying? As long as we separate ourselves from each other, then we're going to have those blockages. We're going to have those. As long as we have some type of discord and we don't see the true intent of love, and usually the concepts, hate, love, it's just conceptual words of agreement. They're not necessarily the true matter of it, but when we go into the essence of what love is, basically it is nothing that is going to arrive at some type of discord where we're going to feel that energy going through our body that I have to say something or do something that's outside of my natural state of doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? That meditative mind, meditative state is not emotional. That means energy and motion is going to be transferred and transformed properly through the physical body not being so young or not being so active in its aggressive movements in that agitated state. So it'll be able to access those different realms of our true reality easier through its natural non-movement. When you look at a dead state of an individual, for example, anything that's dead or inanimate, so to speak, is not moving, right? You know what I'm saying? In our eyesight. Yet still, something's going on with that inanimated object. Something is happening inside of all that to where the power within it, which is unseen, is still being expressed in that unseen reality as well as the seen reality. And let me put this on, I played the video on YouTube. I need to go ahead and place this private real quick for itself before I get a call and the sister like, you put something on YouTube, it ain't monetized, or whatever. I got to get this right real quick. Hold on 1 second. Hold up. Bunch of, sometimes I just noticed that it was complete. So I'm going to do this real quick. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go into the Wajid Guru. We do it kind of swift, not too swift, but time and spaces definitely this, so it ain't about to do nothing. But what I tell it to do, it's what you tell it to do. All right, so let me get away from this. Everything is moving slow. Give me a moment. Well, I'll come back to that. So we're going to go into the Wajid Guru meditation. The fast again means Wajid, the emerald is green. Excuse me, green into the cells. Head means infinite. Nag, wisdom or intelligence. And Haru, the celestial order or the light. So it's the emerald light of the infinite intelligence, or the emerald light, the infinite emerald light of the intelligence. So that's Wajid Hay Nakaru, or it's the emerald infinite intelligence of the celestial order. That's the way I say it, because we are the celestial order, each and every one of them. This is the emerald infinite intelligence of the celestial order. Wajid Hay Nakaru meditation. Hold on, I said I was going to come back to it. As me and my strive for perfection, I need to just let go and let God have, right? Okay, I'm going to leave it alone. All right, so the meditation. Wajid Hay Nakaru. I'm going to place it on there somewhere on this blog talk. Well, I'm going to post it on YouTube, actually, later on. So the meditation begins with the roots. It begins by closing off the right nostril with the right thumb, while the right index finger is pressed into the first eye center between the eyebrows. Then we initiate the chin lock and continue to hold it throughout the inner side. All right, so now breathe in through the left nasal passage, then clear out or blow out of the left nostril. Now close off the left nostril with the right middle finger and release the right thumb from the right nostril. Breathe in through the right nasal passage and clear the right nostril while still maintaining the middle finger in its position at the first eye region. Now close back off the right nostril with the right thumb, continuing to hold the index finger at the first eye center for the duration of the alternate breathing portion of the meditation. Now open left nasal passage. Breathe in into the left nostril for 7 seconds. Allow the breath to fill 75% of the lungs, then initiate the root lock. Close off the left nasal passage while continuing to hold the right nasal passage and the middle finger at the first eye. Now move the energy to the lower dantian and commence an in and out pumping action of the abdomen while keeping both nostrils closed and holding the breath, simultaneously chanting Wajit He Na Karu, subvocally or externally. 2 pumps separating Wajit He Na Karu for beginners and 4 pumps with the complete Wajit He Na Karu haiku on each word, coinciding with the pumping action of the abdomen for advanced meditators, so that it will be Wajit He Na Karu while pumping in 4 times each word. It will be Wajit in, He, Wajit He. It will be Wajit in, then come out. He in, to come out. Nog in, then pump out. Heru in, then pump out. Wajit He Na Karu. Those are the 4 pumps. This can be done in a series of 9, 15, or 18 reps for every set, or 2 or 4 pumps, depending on what is comfortable for each individual way to do a cell. Now open the right nasal passage, release the breath out of the right nostril for 7 seconds while keeping the left nostril closed. Rest for 7 seconds, then breathe into the right nasal passage for 7 seconds. Close off the right nostril while continuing to hold the left nostril, and the middle finger is still placed at the first eye center. Repeat the same process with 2 or 4 pumps of 9, 15, or 18 reps per set of pumps, or per set of pumps. This part of the meditation can be done 9 or 15 times with 1 pass equaling both left and right nostrils. In the completion of the first part of the meditation, release holds and place hands in the holding the mind mudra, with left hand grasping the right thumb and right hand cupping left hand while resting at the lower dantian. Now breathe in through the hand mudra with both nostrils for a count of 7 seconds, equalizing breath, moving the energy directly to the pineal gland, and then take 2 sips of breath through the mouth, acidifying breath, and with the smiling energy and loving intent, move the breath with the color red attached to the energy to the lower dantian, where the hands are resting, and begin to count 81 to 108 heartbeats while spiraling energy back up along the spine towards the pineal gland, then out of the bindu spot located at the back of the head where our soft spot is found, while fixing the color black to the energy as it ascends upward and out. Then, when reaching the 81 or 108 counts of the heartbeat, slightly open your mouth so that the tongue can pierce through both top and bottom rows of teeth, and breathe out with smiling, loving intent from the heart chakra region, the sound with the color green connected to it, fusing through every cell in every part of your body from top to bottom. So start at the head and go all the way down your body, from your head to your shoulders, to your arms, elbows, wrists, fingers, your chest, your solar plexus, or sternum region, your stomach, your legs, each leg up to your legs and out your feet. Now relax, sit still, and do nothing. Gather yourself a few minutes of silence, for a few minutes of silence and normal breathing, and then we can go into the microcosmic or macrocosmic orbit for as many rounds as you see fit. And that's the Wajit He Na Karu meditation. This is a meditation that was gifted down by the ancestors. I give thanks. It's kind of powerful. It's best to do it first thing in the morning for amount of days in sequence, not just one day. Try to do it for about 30 days in a row, 40 days, 60 days. I did this for 40 myself, and I still do it once. I do it about 3 or 4 times a week. But I did it every day for a while, as well as the Cobra breath for like 40 days. You have to learn that one from Dr. Alim. I'm not going to put this, like I said, this is a little different right here, you know what I'm saying? So I'm putting it out there for you, you know what I'm saying? You know, trapper free, you know what I'm saying? So this is freedom right here, freedom, you know what I'm saying? And it helped me. I don't know, everything seems to help if you allow it to. You know what I'm saying? So you can do it how you want to. Those are the different, that's the way that I started doing. I don't necessarily do it in that same format now. But I give thanks for the information, for the intelligence to bringing that towards the table. You know, I say it's mad powerful. Like I said, I've been participating with this for about a year and a half now. And I know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I know it like that, like with the ego, but it's getting closer. I've seen it from different perspectives, and the closer it gets, everything seems to be speeding up physically, but it's actually slowing down. You know what I'm saying? So get those good active breaths in, and you'll notice that, you know, time is like, you know, we're going from Monday to Monday, within 2 days or something. You know what I mean? But actually it's just zero time, and everything's getting back to, we're getting into a new atmosphere, as well as the new atmosphere of physical reality. We're getting back closer to our true self, and our true self has no orientation of what time space is. You know what I'm saying? So that zero time is our cell, our first cell. So that's basically what that non-emotional thing is. It's basically going back to that first cell where nothing has manipulated or changed or altered it, to where the emotions or the energy that's in motion gives us some type of stimulation or agitation, to where we are perceiving something that is an illusion that's being ultimately real to us. These false experiences are very real. You know what I'm saying? So controlling oneself is basically coming one with oneself and with truth, and with our true intent, the true heart intent, the heart of the matter, or the khuru ma'at, the light of truth, the light, you know what I'm saying, of truth, the fire. Ma'at is the true light. So khuru being heart or whatever, is light as well. So the two lights of truth. Both sides, external and internal, so fusing the interconnection of both realms without being manipulated on a lower vibration of, those lesser feelings that generate fear. So let's get it in by being basically attuned to self, and self is zero. You know what I'm saying? The young man said, no vegetables for me. Good God. The one who taught him that, I don't eat no vegetables. Or put some salt? For pork? Eat vegetables. That shit talk. I don't know. It's all good. We live and learn, you know what I'm saying? So take in the right elements. And again, that is the Wajid Hinan Guru, the Emerald Infinite Intelligence of Celestial Order, the Celestial Order. So we're taking in that good green right there, put it into the cells. The last part is seeing the color green. So we first refusing red, it goes up to the palm gland, comes back down. We see the color black as it goes back up, spine. Then it goes out the black. The vortex or the bender spot, that black dot. But that's the soft spot behind the head right there. Goes out of that, and we see the color black. So that's red, black, and green. Green being the last color fused in there. That green is the color of nature. So, and it's also, we're going to give you that molecular charge into your cellular and atomic functions. And then that electromagnetic charge going into the molecular state of your being is going to enhance and help in the advancement and the discovery of your higher self and your immortal body. You know what I'm saying? And that's that ship, that vessel. So get things about to fade out right quick, like to a quick song or something. I'm about to shut it down myself and get into the flow tomorrow. Not going to be here next week. So I see you the week after, talk to you the week after, have something to discuss, bring to the table, whatever the intelligence may bring within that time span. All right. Peace, prosperity, protection, and good health.
Yeah. Scientific breakthroughs, the unveilings, spiritual revelations, the openings. Yeah. 1, 2. First World Order Radio, Tips and Tricks Tuesdays. I'm Black Water, the META-MAJI-SHEN. It's Tips and Tricks Tuesdays, another news day. North, east, west, south. Not here to confuse the day, just diffuse the way. Another Tips and Tricks Tuesday. That pig, that's fine. Hijacking the mind. Aluminum bonds with intelligence. Rewind the message. Merry Christmas. 13 indigenous immigrants. State of the unison. Addressing nothing. Foundations can ruin. Level to level. Fuck the embezzlements. Tales from the crypt. Hitting blood rituals. 50 scores flying over California vacation. Flying dragons. Swords and daggers. Lions and tigers. Gotta get my bearings or perish. Tap into raw flesh. Vampire, vegetarian. I'm a malnutrition. Chemically imbalanced. Ethiopian. Inhaling kush. Blue projects get pushed. Move with the bush. Standing on the middle line. No defining. Swirling dervish. In between space and time. Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Another news day. North, east, west, south. Not here to confuse the day. Just diffuse the way. Another Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Another news day. North, east, west, south.